Welcome to eSpanish. We're going to look at the imperfect tense. So, first of all, remember, just like in English, there are a number of past tenses in Spanish. This is just one of them, okay? So we use the imperfect tense to discuss action that's continuing in the past, so narrative. For example, yo leía mucho, I read a lot or I used to read a lot. Actions that happened on a regular basis in the past, so what you used to do in the past, for example, jugaba al fútbol todas las semanas, so I played football every week, or I used to play football every week. And mental, physical or emotional states in the past, for example, physical description, pensaba que era muy guapa, I thought that she was very good looking. We also discussed the weather and time in the past using the imperfect. So, for example, hacía mucho calor or eran las 3 de la tarde. Also, age in the past. So, for example, cuando tenía 14 años jugaba al tenis. When I was 14, I played tennis. Now we can translate the imperfect tense as follows into English. So there are 3 ways. Tocaba el piano could be I used to play the piano. It could be I played the piano, but meaning on more than one occasion on a regular basis, or I was playing the piano. So be careful when translating back into English. Now, all of these actions can't be put down in your diary on one specific day. The things that either happened over a long period of time, they're kind of background actions, or they happened on a regular basis on more than one occasion. So don't confuse this tense with the preterite, they're quite different. So how do we conjugate the imperfect? What we do is we take off the AR, ER or IR from the infinitive and we add on these endings. So for example, hablar, we take off the AR and we put on aba for the yo form. So yo hablaba, tú hablabas, él, ella o usted hablaba, hablábamos, hablabais and hablaban. And for ER and IR verbs, it's the same endings. So it would be, for example, comía, I used to eat. Comías, comía, comíamos, comíais, and comían. There are only 3 irregular verbs in the imperfect, so this is the nicest tense probably for irregular verbs, and they're ver, ser, and ir. So ver would be veía, veías, veía, veíamos, veíais, and veían. Ser is era, eras, era, éramos, erais, eran, and ir is iba, ibas, iba, íbamos, ibais, and iban. And there are no spelling changes in any verb in the imperfect tense. Just to go back to this idea of the imperfect versus the preterite, it can be very hard in Spanish to work out which one you need to use when you're first learning the language. So I'm going to go through that again briefly. Whereas the preterite is used to discuss actions that happened on one occasion, happened on separate occasions, but a number of times, or an action that had a specific start and end date, we need the preterite. Okay, but the imperfect is for actions that had an unspecified duration. We don't know how long they lasted for, or we don't really care how long they lasted for, or actions that happened on a repeated basis. Let's see some more examples now. For example, jugué al baloncesto, I played basketball on one occasion, so one date. We could put that action in our diary under one day. I used to play basketball, jugaba al baloncesto. We couldn't put that in our diary because it happened on a regular basis. It was a number of occasions. So that would be the imperfect tense. Viví en Málaga durante 2 años. So I lived in Málaga for 2 years. There's an emphasis there that it happened for 2 years. So you lived in Málaga for 2 years. But the last example there, viví en Málaga, I used to live in Málaga. We don't know how long for. We don't know when. That'd be the imperfect. Now, there's some words you can use to try and help you work out which tense you need to use. For example, under the preterite bold heading here, all these words indicate that the action probably happened only on one occasion or set occasions on that specific date, that time. So, for example, ayer, anoche, el año pasado, el mes pasado, etc. Once, the other day. Whereas the ones on the right hand side, indicate the action happened on a regular basis. So sometimes, a veces, every day, now and again, generally, always, every day, year, week, etc. So it's worth learning these phrases. You probably already know them, to help you work out which tense you need to use. Have a go at filling in the blank with the verb in brackets in the imperfect tense. Okay, let's check your answers. So, cuando mi hermana y yo éramos pequeños, jugábamos en el parque todos los días. The second one, durante la guerra civil, la gente pasaba hambre. 3. Cuando salimos de la discoteca, so when we left the nightclub, eran las 7 de la mañana y ya hacía sol, and it was already sunny. Antes tú me gustabas, pero ya no. So, I liked you before, but not any longer.